Hello, everyone. Welcome to Blueprint for TradersPost. This is December 5th, 2024, and I am going to be your coder for today, Tom Hartman, part of the marketing team here at TradersPost, alongside, as always, Mike Christensen. How's it going? Oh, sorry.
I got muted there. I'm doing well, Tom. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Bitcoin's at 100,000.
So a little over 100,000. Didn't we peak a little bit further beyond that?
Sure.
103, 104.
Yeah, one of my favorite things I've been paying attention to is that there's people who I respect within the financial markets, and some of them is like 50-50, those who think that Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme or crypto's a Ponzi scheme, and versus not.
Mhm.
And there was one guy I really liked, Mike Green. I think in the last after hours we went through a video of him, and he had made this bet with Peter McCormick. I think Peter McCormick's the lead in what Bitcoin did, the podcast.
Mhm.
And I think they had some sort of bet that Mike Green was saying that Bitcoin would never reach 100,000. If it did, he'd pay him $20,000 or whatever. And
Money gone.
right. So that was a nice watching that FinTwit thing going back and forth was pretty enjoyable for me, because even for me, I didn't know if Bitcoin was going to hit 100,000. Ponzi schemes could go pretty far. So
as a point of interest, I've been closely following MicroStrategy since we started paying attention to it, and it has a bit of a tracking error now to Bitcoin. It didn't achieve a new high because that pullback from the last peak was so intense on November 21st that we barely even retraced that move, and now MicroStrategy is pulling back even further. So it's interesting to watch this particular asset because, of course, as we know, the way that Saylor has structured his organization is that it's basically just printing cash, operating a giant statistical arbitrage bet between their convertible bonds, treasury notes, and the price of Bitcoin, and just buying as much Bitcoin as possible. And so in theory, it should track Bitcoin fairly well, but it looks like it's deviating a bit here. So if it seems to me that there's a bit of an arbitrage play here, if you're interested in keeping an eye on MicroStrategy, where if Bitcoin continues to rally from here, it might be a good opportunity to wait for MicroStrategy to follow Bitcoin. So if you can get MicroStrategy at a lower price and then it eventually catches up with the Bitcoin price, there's a little bit of an arbitrage play there.
The issue I have with this is it looks like the ETFs that are sort of like doing leverage plays on MSTR are using now options in the space because they can't get enough swaps approved by the banks.
Right.
And so now MSTR is open to gamma. And if there's downside pressure, it doesn't matter how high Bitcoin gets, it can get exacerbated to the downside just the same way to the upside like it did recently. So I don't know.
There's no free lunch in markets. Is that what you're telling me, Tom?
Exactly.
Damn it.
All right. So today's blueprint, we thought it might be fun in honor of Bitcoin being at 100,000. We had a few ideas bouncing around. I like our CEO's Jonathan Wage's idea of buying $10 Bitcoin regularly throughout your life. I just love that idea that just having this, I thought we should just have this button that we just press on our computer and that it would buy Bitcoin. Actually, I had it set up where it would look into my time tracker logs, and whenever I had a productivity spell that was longer than normal, it would then go and buy Bitcoin. Then I had another one that I was like, oh, I'll do it so that it'll set up on whenever I get my inbox to 0, it'll buy some Bitcoin. I thought that might be fun, but it was a little bit too programmery. I didn't want it to be too advanced for people, setting up screenshots, sending it to OpenAI, interpret send out webhook signal to TradersPost a little bit much.
Plus, it stops operating as a reward and it operates more as an incentive for you to just sort of cheat code your way in. So the next thing you know, you've just selected all your inbox items and just archive everything all at once, and then that allows me to buy some more Bitcoin, right?
Well, I wanted it to be like a set it and forget it. Like you sort of forget to game that system, and then
it's just happening automatically.
and you
Yeah,
have this wallet.
John had wanted to do that with a little. He wanted to set up a button that connects over Wi-Fi to an event that would trigger a webhook to TradersPost to buy $10 more worth of Bitcoin, so you could just press the button throughout the day.
That's right. I think I'll do that for another one, but I want to get it all smooth. I think I'm going to use either if this then that or Zapier or whatever, just to make it a little bit easier for people to digest.
Mm-hmm.
But today we decided we're going to go with a crypto grid bot. Grid bots are we're going to do a simple one over here. The idea is that we'll continue with the sort of VWAP kick that we've been on, and we'll do a grid bot at the opening of every session. If the price is bullish, we'll only do long trades. If the price is bullish, we'll go ahead and place orders automatically at set intervals, and then those signals will be sent to when the price crosses, will be sent to TradersPost in order to purchase, or at least send the order to purchase crypto at Coinbase. So I thought that might be fun.
Let's do it.
All right. Last week was interesting because whenever you get stuck on a stupid, semicolon space problem, which is the way I think about it in programming, it's always very stressful. You go, what am I not getting right? But let's see if we can get this one straight through. Have you ever run any of these grid bots? I have never actually ran a grid bot strategy myself for trading. Is there any sort of like edge to it? I don't know what the psychology behind it is.
I mean, it's kind of a trend following strategy. Effectively, if the price is going up, it buys. If the price is coming down, it sells. It's similar to the strategy we had talked about with Sean on the option side, where he was buying every dollar point move or whole dollar move to the upside and then selling on the downside. And it just reverses its way out. Pretty simple concept, but if price is going up, we're going long. If price is coming down, we're going short. In theory, with crypto, however, we've got a little bit of a limitation here where we're going to have to make this either long only, where it's adding to the longs as the price goes up, or it's maybe trading Bitcoin futures. I guess if we want to go long and short. So if it's long only, you'll have to make some modifications.
Right. All right, let's see here. Okay, so let's just get our VWAP on the chart. Our daily VWAP. So as we've seen in previous blueprints, we're just setting up a VWAP call here to the native math. Oh, let me make this bigger actually. There we go. All right, so we're just setting up a VWAP here, and the VWAP, we are resetting it on every day so that the VWAP trails, and we get the set for every session. Let me just all right. So now we're going to want this session here stored because we want to set an open trade. We want to send the trade signal at the start of every day. So let's say time frame change. And I don't normally like VWAP right at the beginning of the day. I like waiting a certain number of bars, certain amount of
Same.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
So
about 15 to 20 minutes into the session.
Oh, that soon? Oh, you don't wait for? Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it depends on the time chart that you're on, but yeah, I usually trade it on the 5-minute chart, and I wait at least 15 to 20 minutes into the session, but then also I'm interested in a bar that fully closes above VWAP or below VWAP to determine direction. That's been a helpful signal or helpful filter, if you will.
Okay, so let's do a simple one here for bar sense. So this will tell us how many bars it's been, and we'll say something like, we'll color the background if the bars are less than 5. We'll color the background. Oh, this feature. I should see the background here. 1 second. So there's this weird thing that's happened since the new update. I guess a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen this or other people have seen this, where if you save if you save your script, and then while the script is updating on the chart, you save again. You have to. It no longer it's like out of sync. You have to remove the script and then add it back to the chart. Have you seen this yourself?
No.
This has been very annoying.
Yeah, I can imagine. Um, no, definitely when I've saved the script, each time I save the script, it should update the strategy live on the chart, but that sounds to be suddenly broken.
Yeah. I mean, they had set up this whole thing where now we have like they change their interface and how charts are linked. We have all these linked features between bars. So I think maybe just something went wrong, maybe with the desktop version. I should message them and let them know. But I figured they would have known already, but maybe not. Okay, so we have this buffer period, and we're going to say here is we're going to say it's a buy if the bar since the time frame has changed is 11, or more than 11, or equal to 11, and if the price is let's say you do a who cares? It doesn't have to be exactly right. We'll say if the low is above the VWAP. All right, so what would that look like? By below, so put a marker on the chart so we can see it. Oh, there, I did it again. Okay, we only want it the first time. What was above? Okay. So our alerts are finding the right spot. Well, we only want it to be the first time. So let's switch this to this by. We'll make this a, what did they call this? It's a variable that doesn't change. It's set only at the beginning. We'll say that's false. And we'll only reset the buy if the time frame has changed. So here we should only get one green. Time frame has changed. Oh, you know what? We can actually do that because when we actually do the order, it'll be fine. So it is buy. Let's go ahead and second here. Strategy entry. Change my indicator to strategy. All right, we need an exit. Let's do exit at. Okay, so we're going to exit from our buy. We'll exit from it when we reach a profit of, let's call it, second, let me get my percent function.
I think typically the take profits are defined by entering the next zone.
Yes, I just want to get the, well, I like when there's an initial buy at the beginning of the day, and then it
Okay,
adds
I
to
see
it.
where you're going. Yeah.
But let's try percent. Second. Okay, I was getting my function here. Okay, so let's do close percent. Take a profit at 2% above. Wait, NASDAQ. What's the standard move? No, let's do 1%. And oh, so it's nice to look up and see people watching. Makes me feel not alone.
Got a handful of people. And yeah, if you guys have traded with grid bots in the past, we'd love your input. What's been your experience with them? Do you have ways that you've modified the settings to work for you? Any insights that you care to share, or are you a fan of grid bots?
All right, we got some trades going on there. Buy stop loss, buy stop loss. Did I get this wrong?
Interesting. This popular grid bot that I did find on TradingView actually requires that you define the range yourself first. I think there's a better way to do this where we can define the range based on some rolling standard deviation of price.
Where the order should happen dynamically?
Yeah, but the zone should be defined dynamically based on the volatility of the asset.
Interesting. I was going to set it up with a fixed levels, but yeah, we could do that.
Maybe that's an option, but I think with volatility adjusted zones, that keeps the ranges more relevant to the instrument traded.
Makes sense.
And then when you switch from like symbol to symbol, it's not taking your, predefined ranges in your strategy settings and applying them to an instrument that's trading in, fractional pennies, right? So if I put in like 50,000 to 52,000 for Bitcoin, and I'm applying this $2,000 range between grid zones, and then I switch over to Doge, it's not going to make much sense.
Well, I thought the idea is that we would just like adjust it for whatever asset that we're on, that we just have it in the settings where we can set, I want each level to be 50 basis points, or I want each level to be 3%, whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you want to make it relative on percentage, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes more sense than dollar amount. Yeah.
Okay. So let's do percentage. All right. So let's do, set settings over here. So we'll say, what is the distance between the entry price and the first one? So it'll be grid spacing, let's say. We'll do a percentage. Let's call it, for this one, 50 basis points. And then we'll say number of grid levels. Let's call it 4. Okay, so what we'll do here is, when it's a buy, oh wait, if we do only longs, then we have to close at the end of the day. Anyways, let's do it this way first. So our grid will be, we need an array with all the different levels. Well, do we need one? No, we can just do a loop. We can say for each, yeah, for I equals 0 to grid levels. We can do a new order. Actually, let's just draw the levels first. So here it'll be line that new whatever bar index we're on to the value will be. Should we wait till the position is open? No, we'll do on close. So we're going to process this on close so we know we're using the close price of this candle. And then we'll say the first level will be close and the percentage up will be whatever the spacing is times the level we're on, I. So here we'll loop through from 1 to 4. Each one will time the grid spacing for the percentage, and it'll be up. We'll extend this to, let's extend it to the right all the way. Let's just do 20 for now. Extend it to the right. We will be at the same price. All right, X lock bar index, extend right, color green, dashed with 1 force level. Okay. So here I'm just checking to see that this is firing where it needs to be. Okay, you're firing at the end, firing too often. So let's say, and okay, so we only want this to fire once per day. So let's just do this. Okay. And we want all the previous lines to be gone for now. So we'll loop through all the there's an array for line.all that'll have all the lines. So let's just delete them. So we're only seeing the most recent ones. Is it too far up? Okay, so those are our lines for the next grid. These are going to be, yeah, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2. All right, let's lower these. Is too much distance. Let's go with 10 basis points. Let's try that. And then we'll set orders to fire at those times. So line, it'll be a new grid buy. So we'll say, so we'll call this one the initial one. And this one will be grid the number for that line. All right, so that'll be the name of it. And this will be a limit order. Yeah, let's do a limit order for our level value. All right, so we're gonna do a limit order that'll fire when the price crosses there. Actually, it's gotta be stop limit order, or it'll also buy below it. Comment, entry ID, and the exit will be similar for this entry ID. And we want the take profit to be, let's say, at the next grid level up. So that means if we want that, yeah, let's do that. So the next grid level up will be the next number here. So take profit will be at the next level up. And the stop loss, we'll say at the, we need the other side. We need the other side of this. So Mike, I'm thinking here we need levels below here, the same levels above, we need the same levels below so that it can sell off. Actually, we don't want to sell off as it goes lower. Do we want it to sell off as it goes lower, or do we want it to just keep buying as it falls lower down?
That would sort of be antithetical to the trend following concept. If it kept buying as it was going lower, that would be closer to mean reversion. But in theory, if we were long short, then you would turn around and start selling if it starts going down to the next zones. But perhaps
so we'll do a straight stop loss that'll apply to all of them if it gets down to, let's say, a certain level below the initial buy of the day, and then it'll just buy when we get to higher levels. So we won't have multiple stop losses. We'll just have one stop loss, let's say at,
yeah. And then effectively it would stop entering positions altogether and only start entering if we start forming a trend to the upside again.
Got it. Okay, let's see that. All right, so our stop loss will be, let's call it 3% down. Percentage.
I think we still want to buy if the price comes down into the initial zone, because obviously the aim is still to buy low and sell high. So if we're buying on the initial because it crosses above VWAP, that's our entry point, and then we sell once it reaches the first take profit zone, right, in your grid there.
Well, here what I wanted to just show is because as I'm thinking about it, there's all kinds of different like practical things I would actually want to do here. But I just want to demonstrate the creation of the multiple orders and then the sending them over, not, anticipate what would actually be more profitable. Like I just wanted to show that we can have those orders in just in the time frame that we have.
Sure, that makes sense.
All right, so stop loss 3% down. Here. So you will be stop here. And then we'll also draw a line. So we'll have a stop loss that will start here. Beginning of the day at that level. Bar index plus 20. Level. Oh, no, that did that wrong. Here. Red. We don't need you anymore. Oh, that's too far down. Let's go 1%. I'm so used to Bitcoin thinking in terms of 50 basis points. Seems like not a big move to me at all. All right. Yeah, let's make this much smaller.
I'm actually surprised you're on NQ. I thought we were going to build this for Bitcoin.
You're right. You're right. Get off this freaking NQ. Let's get to where the real money is.
What are you in traditional markets for? Those are so yesterday.
That's right. Now these percentages make sense. Okay, let's do. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this one won't be here. Okay, so let's get these guys out for the moment. We'll go ahead with strategy buys on here. Enter, exit. Take profit will be the next level up. Stop loss will be the ultimate stop loss at the bottom. Okay, did I not get any orders here? I'm seeing the take profit at the top there. Where is the next order? ID is different. Yeah. You're different. Long stop. Comment. Let me see that this is actually being created properly. Just using the pine logs here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are fine. So you're being created. Entries are being created. Oh, because they're entries. They need to be orders. Or I need to change pyramiding. Let's do order. Because I was using the entry order, it's only doing one per day. This should actually allow us to do multiple ones. There we go. So here we have the day starts. We didn't get that initial buy here. Why didn't we get the initial buy? We got you in here by 3, by 4, but we didn't get 1 and 2. Oh, we got 1 over here. Oh, I saw this the other day on another script that I was working on, where because the price was moving up past it, it couldn't actually get the limit order filled.
Oh.
But if we did that on a stop, then we wouldn't have that problem. But then we couldn't know for sure what price would get filled at. So here, as it crosses, it buys the first one, the second one, third and fourth, but it also is selling at the first level, selling here, and then selling there.
Yeah, this is one of the inherent downsides with grid bot trading is that while it makes sense in theory to constantly be buying low and selling high and turning each trade over, it's sort of like reverse dollar cost averaging on the way out. You're getting worse and worse average performance on the sell side of your trades, when it would be better to hold all those positions on the way up and sell them in some sort of trailing stop or some higher take profit zone. So it's a lot of little entries and exits, which is sort of the point with grid bots, is that it's very difficult to trade like this manually. But if you do it, in an automated way, then obviously it can turn over these trades over and over and over again. But yeah, interesting to see how each take profit immediately is sold, but then you're buying back in at the same exact zone.
I'm wondering here then if I don't know. I don't want to be in this situation where I'm like, okay, let me see how we make that profitable. But that's not our game. Our game here is just to show how this can be done.
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of room for strategic improvement in terms of how it should execute, but we do want to head in this direction of at least showcasing the basics, the basic concept, and then how to connect the alerts to trading or to TradersPost so that at least you can begin the process of automating something like this. I think, Tom, maybe we could put a little more time into something more comprehensive, as I know grid bots are fairly popular and many of the platforms out there kind of have them built in. So we could offer this as one of our example strategies on the platform.
Good idea. Okay, I'll do that. So we get here the stop working properly, because right now I expected to stop the trigger, but it didn't. But that's because I don't have it tied. I have the stop loss tied to its own entries, but I need to be able to stop it altogether. So let's get rid of this stop loss here. We don't need you, because it's just going to be one stop loss for everybody. And it'll be strategy, strategy, exit, exit from everybody at the stop price. Getting something wrong here. If the from entry is not provided, generates exit orders for all open trades until the position closes. Yeah, that should be the case. Did I get it wrong? I missed something here. This should exit over here all these positions, but you're not. If I did close. No, I don't want this. I want it the other way. Let's go back to you. You'll be exit. I'm going to have one stop loss for everything. It should be this. I'm wondering if I'm missing something over here. That is the stop loss value. That is the exit method. I want to stop. I don't want a specific for each grid. So that should stop it. But you're not. ¿Por qué? Does it seem like I'm missing something obvious over here? I'm expecting here when the price hits this level, it should stop out of all the positions. If I did this here instead, stop loss. Yeah, stop loss 4. Oh, I'm so stupid. These already took profit. That's why it's not working.
Oh, there's no entry at that point.
Well, here they all took profit over already.
I meant to say there was no open position by the time the price got down to that stop loss.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do want only one order for stop because, I mean, there's no downside for TradersPost if we sent 4 alerts at once for that, but might as well flatten the position. All right, so let's say our take profits were way higher. Let's call it 2%. Oh, I guess it wouldn't make any difference. Okay, let's see a place here where it'll actually fall. So take profits. Yeah, it's still not exiting. All right, there's our stop loss. Okay, well, that works. Now we want our alerts. Let's just clean this up a little bit. All right. Okay, so we want our alerts here. Our buy alert message. Text area. Alert message. Exit. Oh, we can send the bracket order. Wait, does Coinbase allow bracket orders? I don't know. You wouldn't happen to know offhand if TradersPost, if Coinbase does bracket orders?
They do not.
Okay, so let's not. We'll do it this way. But if they did, you wouldn't have to do the. Well, I'll show both options actually.
Yeah, unfortunately, Coinbase is sort of one of the least feature rich from an order execution perspective.
I see. But Kraken is they just like released a whole trading like platform, like TradingView like platform. Have you seen this?
No, not yet.
It came out like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Oh, okay, I'll have to log into my account and check that one out.
Yeah, it looked pretty robust. Okay.
I wonder if that improves the API availability for bracket trades as well then
Interesting.
with Kraken.
Right. Yeah, I would assume. Or if they didn't have bracket before, I would assume they have it now.
Yeah.
All right. So for our buy position for strategy order, let's go ahead and add an alert. And we're going to add the exits to our stops. Is it alert message? No, it's not that. It's alert. Profit and alert loss. That's right here. These are the alert message fields for that. Oh, did they just add this? I didn't see this here before. Alert message. Custom text for the alert that fires when the order fills. If the message field of the create alert dialog box contains blah, 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 the alert message will be placed, yada, yada. Profit. Wait, isn't this the exact same thing? Am I blind? This alert message, alert profit, and alert loss are the exact same message. Oh no, using the profit parameter. Oh, okay. So we're gonna have one alert message that fires there now. We didn't have that before.
And then it would send that message through to the alert message placeholder.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, nice. That's a nice improvement. Will they finally give us the underlying asset on futures? Stop making improvements without fixing that problem, TradingView.
Okay, cool. So we don't need you. We just go to message. The amount of time I spend just going through the documentation, just like if I'm too tired or whatever, I'll just go through because there'll sometimes be something just added in there that I just didn't see before. Like, have you seen this before? The enum type, variable type, where now you can have if you have this. Basically, it's like reusable list. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even like. There was no notice that went out to me. I didn't see. I was like going through it one day. I was like, hey, what's this thing here?
Yeah, I know with enum that's pretty similar to their user-defined types, their UDTs or whatever they call it. But
except that these guys are they're
it's truly enums. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
That's right. Okay, so we have that there. We got our alert messages. So now if I wanted to fire an alert, let's do a simple one. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Oh, yeah, actually, let me change something over here just in case. Let's say I didn't want to do, I wanted my time frame to be set for when the VWAP resets. Time frame daily. Do I have that anywhere else? No. So let's say I wanted the reset to happen sooner, just to be able to get some orders in. Oh, I can't get any more. Hey, I should get orders every single number of bars. And then I have to change the number of bars since. Let's do that here. So I'll be there and over here. Hey, I should get a buy here. Why am I not getting a buy? You bought. I'm just going to check this, and then we'll jump to the alerts. Percent, buy, time frame change. Zero, 5, yeah. I should see blue labels show up each one. Yeah, blue label showing up there. So that's buy.
This is always my favorite part when Tom uses logs or labels to start debugging what's happening here.
Well, remember a couple of years ago, there wasn't even any pine logs or anything like that. So my normal thing is just dump something on the chart just to see. I'm expecting a buy to happen here, but for some reason that buy is not happening. So entry order and ID. Oh, right, because we didn't cross the number. Duh, Tom. Doi. All right, so if we reduce the space into 0.5, then we should get it. There we go. Okay, well, I'm not going to wait for an alert to happen here. This is good enough, but I'm going to show how we would fill out this. So if we go to our TradersPost documentation and grab our buy signal, this is what we would have. And for our exit, so once that's saved in my script, I could go ahead and create an alert, choosing the grid bot. Oh, let's do that one modification for this strategy alert message here. I don't know if we've ever had this on the record, but let's just put in there. Alert message. So in the script, if we add this line, strategy or @ symbol strategy underscore alert message, and then whatever text we put after here, such as Tom is amazing, will appear inside of the alert dialog.
So useful for creating alerts separately from the strategy, where we can pre-fill the strategy alert message as you had before. Unfortunately, Tom is amazing is going to throw an error when it gets to TradersPost. So
it shouldn't. That should automatically buy some Bitcoin.
That should automatically assume what the correct message should be.
So here, because I remember I always used to forget this a few years ago, and I always have clients, it's not working, it's not working. Yeah, this needs to be there. So this is there. This is going to be replaced by the message that's inside our box over here. And we would just make sure that our webhook URL is the one that we grab from our strategy on TradersPost. So in my strategy, I can go. I was making a Pelosi tracker here. If we go to if we go into it, where is it? View. Copy the webhook URL, and then we would paste it there. That way, we would create it. When it crosses, Bob's your uncle, and the trades get purchased. All right. Anything else you think we should go over there?
I don't think so. So all of the buys are still in reference to our opening price at the start of the session, right? As they relate to VWAP.
Correct. Well, I don't even have it here related to VWAP. I removed that condition.
Oh, okay. But the reference price is still based on the session open?
Correct.
Okay. And then are we accounting for open positions from the previous day?
No, we're not.
So it's just going to keep piling them up?
Exactly, yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, that's sort of the point with gridbot trading as well, is that you can limit, I think in your strategy, will your strategy settings adhere to the max pyramiding amount?
Well, I switched this to strategy.order so that it ignores that. If this was set to strategy.entry, then yes, we would have to, we'd only get one trade, and we'd have to make sure that this pyramiding amount was higher to allow for more trades during that day. Yep. But given the fact that once we cross the level, it is both opening and closing a position, it wouldn't actually make any difference.
That's a fair point, right? Yeah. However, in this case, so the way we've structured this is a little different than typical grid bots, where it's going to keep buying on the way down relative to the reference price and then take profit relative to the original entry. So I guess I was a little bit wrong earlier in this in the start of this call about the idea that if it kept buying on the way down, that would be closer to mean reversion. With grid bots, you are allowing it to continue to buy at the set points on the way down, and then you're always taking profit relative to the original entry. So there is some some room for improvement on this script. But the way you have it right now is another approach that I've taken in the past, where you just keep buying on the way up, which could be another way to consider this here. But I think this is a good start, and certainly exemplifies the direction you can think. Now let's run through the alert side of things. Did we have something we wanted to set up there?
Well, I showed the alert for the inputs, how we have our messages within these fields.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And then we also went through on TradersPost how to grab the URL in order to send the alert there.
Yep.
But to fire alert over here, it'll just be a lot of finagling just to get it across a level.
But if we go to create the alert from the strategy, I just want to confirm that it's going to show yeah, perfect. So when we go to create the alert, we want it to pre-fill the message with strategy.order.alert message, which is going to send over your predefined messages in the settings of your strategy. That's a recent technique we've been using, or somewhat recent. I know, Tom, you've been using it for a long time, but I'm trying to do that more and more. I think that's such a clean and organized way of creating the alerts from strategies, is to define what message you want to be sent from your inputs in the strategy, which you have set there on the left. In the GridBot strategy, you have the buy message, you have the sell, the exit message, and so on and so forth. And then basically when those events occur, it copies that message over to the alert properly.
That's right. Perfect. Okay, we'll
Cool.
leave it at
Looks
that
good,
for
Tom. Yeah.
blueprint for today.
Nice start. Let's see if we can do another rendition of this in an upcoming episode. If you guys are interested, we've seen a lot of context out there on GridBots. If you're interested in having us continue to refine this, or you have ideas you'd like us to explore, I think in my mind, there's kind of two concepts behind GridBots. There's the buy on the way down, and then each one has its own predefined take profit based on levels that it should have been at before. So, as the price goes down, maybe this is better visually. I found this visual from Quantpedia as an example. Let me share my screen here. So this is a perfect example of what I mean here. As the price comes down, you would have that original buy, and there's a sell that should be targeted from that original buy. And you keep buying on the way down, but then take profit at each level. This is the basic concept at its core, and we could certainly improve this script to follow this logic here. On the flip side, there's another way to think about this, which is, and I'm a huge fan of this because I'm a big believer in like adding to your winners. But another approach to this would be, as you keep crossing those grid points above your entry, just keep adding to the position, because that makes sense. You should be adding to your winners, not adding to your losers. The downside with the image that I just showed is that if you took four entries in a row, you've now increased your risk, especially by the fourth entry, and you, without any kind of stop loss in place, you've exposed yourself to even more risk of downside. So typically you'd have some sort of like master stop loss on all those positions to exit out of all of them. But if the price is heading upward, we want to keep adding to them. And I think that would give you a little bit different performance. In any event,
if you're a Bitcoin maxi and you think to yourself, well, it's never going to go to zero, and you're just trading spot,
then I'll
maybe
always want to buy.
Well, this just allows you to be able to, if you buy on the way down, then you're just getting every dip. You're able to take advantage of every dip, or theoretically every dip. And
I think what you're saying makes sense. There's another script that I was just looking at on TradingView that's even holding those positions across multiple days until they eventually come back and hit that take profit. So what that means is that you're just enduring that drawdown on that original position for as long as it takes to eventually get to the take profit. So perhaps this particularly this strategy in particular would work well during up markets, where eventually, even if there's a momentary pullback in the market, it's eventually going to come to that take profit zone. It would probably not work very well in a down market. But I know that there's some inverse tokens out there that allow you to go long on a short of like Ethereum or Bitcoin. Right. So in theory, you could, use those assets in a down market and actually still trade in the same long direction.
That's right. Oh, trading is so fun, so interesting. And I did want to look at the performance of this, because I wouldn't want to see a high number. No, thank you. Not interested.
We're not here to prove performance. We just want to show you how to wire this stuff up. It's up to you guys to come up with your own implementation of this and manage risk accordingly, as always. But we are always excited to try new ideas. So if you have other ideas around GridBots, feel free to reach out.
I'll post the script in a little bit on TradingView, and I'll post the link of it in the comments for this video as well as on Discord, so you guys can grab it over there. And I'll toss a blog post up by tomorrow for just to run through this a little bit. I do want to. Everyone knows me. I like to go in and like tinker in it a little bit more. But let me just get it out to you guys, and I'll do the tinkering afterwards, so that no one has to ask me later on, "Where's the script?" It's going to be online in the next few minutes, folks.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tom. Thanks, everybody.
So.